Hey guys, what is going on? It is DaBoki here once again, and it's time for another Maple Monday. It is June 24th, 2013, and I hope you ladies and gentlemen are prepared for another Maple Monday. So in this Maple Monday, I want to go and talk a little bit about the Thief revamp of the Red update that came out for KMS. I know a lot of you guys have seen a lot of footage of it and heard a lot about it, but I want to go ahead and show you guys the Shadowers and the NightLords. And also, I wanted to talk a little bit about the changes that were made in KMS that is coming up pretty soon here that could balance some things out. I know GMS just experienced their Unleashed update and it wasn't very unleashing indeed. A lot of players are worried about the balance issues and the difficulty of the game. But hopefully this new update that KMS just came out with will reassure players that, well, we're trying to balance the game a little bit. But quickly, before I go into the update news, I want to go ahead and go through, of course, the Maple Monday submissions. Alright, to kick off the Maple Monday submissions, it's Minivan drew a pretty sweet character of himself. I really like it. He's got the mushroom on the side there, his little pet, and it's a very cool drawing. Thank you very much for the submission. DaBoki is the best. I love this picture, just do the archer right there. Very nice coloring too, slime and mushroom, pooping slime, pooping mushroom, great picture. XXNick3XX drew a pretty sweet picture here, but it looks like it could be a thief. I really like this. A really sweet picture. I don't know why, it looks really cool. I can never draw like this obviously, but it looks very awesome. Thank you very much for the submission. Prototype QZ has made the Demerip DaBoki style, and it looks fabulous. A lot better than mine. If you guys that kept up with my crafting stories, this is my Demerip upside down pyramid, and it looks pretty nice. I really like the bubble letters there of DaBoki style. Thank you very much for the submission. Luminous light and dark, very cool picture. You can see luminous there, brush your teeth or not brush your teeth. That is always the question in someone's mind, wake up with stinky breath or not stinky breath. But very cool picture, light and dark. Donald drew a Xenon here, and it looks really nice. Xenon is coming out in GMS, I believe on July 3rd, so that is something we can look forward to. Getting the spirits ready, getting the pencil of love, and of course the Batman utility belt. hitruefit drew a pretty awesome picture of his Demon Slayer. He's somewhat of a professional artist, and that is really cool. He actually takes requests and commissions, so that is pretty sweet. I'll put more in the description below if you guys are interested. So I want to say thank you very much guys for submitting those Maple Monday submissions. They are awesome as usual, and stay tuned for the end of this video for more Maple Monday submissions. I'll go ahead and do that, roll through it. But if you want to submit me anything for Maple Monday, for next week's Maple Monday, you can submit it to TheDaBoki@gmail.com, and hopefully you will be featured. So yes, really quick, KMS is receiving a little small update that will hopefully change some things. I've been reading an Orange Mushroom blog and Spato's blog about this new little update that's coming out. So GMS's Unleashed update nerfed a lot of the lower level mobs and took away a lot of party plays. So GMS is kind of worried because, hey, it's harder to level. It's feeling a little bit like pre-Big Bang. So I guess KMS had the same similar issue about it being a little bit too difficult to train for lower levels, and they're increasing the spawn rate for mobs. Before, for the mobs in the maps, they were given a certain amount of time before they can spawn, but now I guess it's as fast as you can kill them, they will go ahead and spawn. So it used to be every 12 seconds, but now it's every 6 seconds the mobs will spawn. So it's almost like training on a little bit of 2x, as long as you can kill it that fast. So now about on the subject of killing it fast, that means you need better equips, and better equips equals to cubes, and cubes equals to NX. And usually, that means that it's a pay-to-win situation. So Nexon want to go ahead and counter this with it seems like a little teaser. We're not quite sure yet if it's true, but they're showing this little crafting system where you can actually craft cubes. What kind of items will you need? Well, we're not quite sure yet, but it seems like you can potentially craft cubes out of this crafting system. So it's not just minerals and ores and herbs to craft potions and equipments, but now you can actually craft cubes. So I would like to see that. I would like to see more ways that we can achieve these NX items in game without spending NX itself. I mean, it might take a little bit more time, it might be a little bit more tedious, but I want it to be a little bit more possible to achieve these NX items. I think that would make it a lot better. Of course, a lot more new updates are coming out for KMS. There's a lot of talk about 5th job, which potentially can be at level 160, and they're gonna have that at the convention and KMS Korean Maple Story. They're gonna talk a little bit more about it and reveal some more information about later this month. So hopefully we'll get some more information on that as well. But other than that, guys, I want to go and show you guys a little bit about the Red update for the KMS Thieves. and because it's pretty interesting. Now, to tell you guys the truth, I was a little bit interested on the NightLords, and I was kind of seeing about how they would be revamped for this red update, because everyone seems really flashy, everyone seems really AoE, area of effecty, so I was wondering how will they incorporate that with NightLords, and surprisingly enough, they just had it so that NightLords, when they threw triple throw or their main stat throw, other stars would be bellowing out around them, so it's kind of like it has an AoE effect. So it's like the Hurricane we saw with the Wind Archer revamp that came out for KMS. So when the NightLord throws their stars, stars will be throwing around them as well, so it'll be hitting miscellaneous mobs around them, which I guess is pretty interesting. You know, they have to incorporate AoE somehow with each class. Also, the next thief I want to go ahead and talk about, the Adventure Thief, is the Shadower, and the Shadower got revamped as well in the Red update, but see, the thing is about the Shadower, it doesn't seem like it has that much AoE, but what they kind of focused on was the mobility of the Shadower, so it's kind of having the slick moves like the Dual Blader, kind of shipping around the map, and we'll see how that works out, but of course this is all in a testing phase, so everything can be changed and nerfed as well. So there's a lot of new classes that are coming out, and a lot of new classes of course that we want to try and play, and we're kind of wondering to ourselves, how do we choose the right class? What can we play? You know, we want to play all these different classes. Well, I guess KMS has came out with this thing now called the free job advancement. You guys probably have seen this, but yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting concept where you can choose your job advancement once a day. You can change it. So I mean, that goes upon your class though. So if you're a warrior, you could start out as a hero, but you want to change it. Maybe you can change it to a dark knight or a paladin, and you can do this once a day, changing your job. So maybe one day you wanted to be a bowmaster, but then another day you want to be a marksman, and same to go with all the mages, a bishop, ice, lightning mage, fire, poison. You can go ahead and change it once a day. So that means possibility you'll need to get all those skill books if you want to go ahead and I guess play it fully. And you'll need each one of those weapons. Like a paladin uses a blunt weapon, as a dark knight uses a spear or a polearm. So I mean, it all goes to say that what kind of player you want to play and how much more mesos you'll need to invest in this game. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's Maple Monday. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next week on Maple Monday. Definitely guys, a lot of new updates coming out for the summer. Of course, we know summertime is the time for Nexon to be making these updates, and I want to say thank you very much for the Maple Monday submissions. This has been DaBoki. I'll be seeing you guys later. Goodbye.